Blog Talk Radio.
You are now entering the Alan Mike Show Radio Network.
Attention. Do I have everybody's attention now?
Are you ready for the premiere live interview show? And now, here's your host of Live on the Air, Alan J.
And welcome everybody to Live on the Air. I am your host, Alan J. We are live, and you can call in at 646-478-4386. Of course, check out the website, liveontheairradio.com. Follow us on Twitter at Alan Mike Show, or email us, alanmike@gmail.com. Of course, you can listen to any of our shows on demand anytime, blogtalkradio.com/Alan Mike Show, or go to our website, alanmikeshow.com. We are live on the air, and I want to get right to it. We have a very special guest to bring on the air today. She is an author of a new book called Metamorphosis, a longtime fitness expert for the Rick Sanchez Show on NBC Channel 6. Also a gym owner, a competitive bodybuilder. If you start to get the drift, she's into being healthy, devoted her life to chasing the perfect body, but this quest has, of course, drastic negative side effects, and she will be with us today to discuss 5 habits that are totally healthy for getting into shape, but actually do more harm than good. And I want to bring on the air right now Lisa Dwoskin. Lisa, welcome to the show today. How are you doing today?
Good. I'm doing great. Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. Thank you for coming on the air with us today. And I'd love to first and foremost talk about your book that you have out, Metamorphosis.
Okay, it's called actually Metamorphosize, but it's derived from metamorphosis. No problem. It's
that
the
makes more sense too.
Yeah, the transformation from the cocoon to the caterpillar to the butterfly, and I just cut off the end and added the exercise portion. So
nice.
it's a book about mind, body, spirit, and transformation. It's my personal memoir of how I started with the physical side of fitness and realized that being physically fit does have many benefits, but it has many downfalls as well. And you focus too much on your body and not enough on your mind and your spirit. And I found that once you centered your mind and your spirit through other forms of exercise, meditation, yoga, self-love, healing, then you're a more balanced person, and that's when individuals can become happier in their life from internal factors, not just external factors. So it's a great read for anyone out there who's searching for the perfect job, the perfect weight, the perfect mate, the perfect life, and they can't find it, and they wonder why they're never happy. I give different homework assignments and different ways that I went about doing it to find peace and happiness for their future.
So that's interesting. So, and that makes sense, too, that, someone who's going to the gym day after day and their only focus is to have this perfect body, have a perfect physique for whatever it is that they're trying, their goal is, if it's just appearance or something competitive, you find that the negative effects is that they're not concentrating on the other things that are important in life, like your mental health, for example. Now, how did you come on to realize this? Was this something that happened to you personally, or were you teaching people and you saw this in them?
Both. I owned a gym, a wellness center for 13 years. I had about 2,000 members, so of course I saw everything from divorce, death, losing a child, losing a spouse, cancer, disease. And I just always saw that the people that were going so hard and working out so hard to look good that they weren't finding any kind of peace or happiness. And then I myself personally was going through a lot of different surgeries and health issues and divorce and just financial dilemmas. Like everyone has trials and tribulations in their life. And I just found that what brought me the peace in my life was actually a CD called The Metamorphosis, The Transformation. And the more I learned how to meditate and silence my mind and listen to my inner voice and be more at peace, the more I found happiness in my life. And I started teaching those kind of classes in my wellness center. And I noticed that the people were also changing, the ones that would always be hitting the weight so hard and looking at themselves in the mirrors and wanting to lose the 10 pounds, 30 pounds, whatever it was that their goals were. And I started seeing these people transforming. So I realized there's so much more to this whole way of being than just looking good physically. And from a personal trainer's point of view, I started changing all the trainers that worked with me and for me to start being life coaches instead of just training the outer body. I was seeing big differences in the people that were training their minds and spirits as well.
And so obviously someone who's interested in having, you know, a great body or just being in generally good shape, what do you suggest is probably one of the better routes they go down to kind of enhance their mental health? Do you think yoga is the way to go, or is that just one of many options?
No, definitely it's more about meditation, I believe. That's a part of the yoga, which you could do it in yoga classes, but definitely as a life coach and what I'm seeing in all the gyms across the country, the personal trainers are becoming more life coach, people that kind of guide the people in the right direction. And what we do with our clients first and foremost is to tell them to start journaling. So writing down their thoughts, their feelings, why do they want to lose the weight? Why are they working out so hard? Of course, we all want to look better. That's a part of our human trait. And just teaching them that, yes, we do want to look better, but it's more about living a longer, healthier life, being healthier to fight disease and fight whatever we're going through in our life. And they need to focus within. So journaling first and foremost, their thoughts, their feelings, and then meditating. And what I tell all my clients out there and all your listeners, and you as well, go ahead and Google guided meditation, and probably thousands of different guided meditations will come up, from Oprah Winfrey to Deepak Chopra to unknown names, and they'll walk you through a guided meditation, which will be about 10 minutes, and it's just about breathing, shutting off all the noise, and just centering yourself to be more peaceful. And once I teach people how to do that, then of course we put them through a workout, go over nutrition, go over exercise. And so at least they're getting the balance of both mind, body, and spirit all together.
That makes sense. And I know, you know, and it's escaping my mind now, there's one pretty famous meditation out there right now that, is it the I can't think of it off the top of my head right now, but I know it's something pretty big out there that they speak of. I know Howard Stern always talks about it. It's a particular type of meditation that's quite popular. But
there's so many.
The bottom line is the guided meditation or a form of guided meditation is what someone should be looking for.
Yeah, maybe you're thinking of the imagery where you actually see images, and there's like the hypnotherapy. And when we say that word, people get a little bit freaked out because, no, you're not going to be hypnotized. It's just getting into that state of hypnotherapy, which is just the same thing, quieting your mind. I'm not sure if it's imagery but it's got to be a form of guided. There's Kundalini, which is a form of yoga guided meditation. I'll Google search the Howard Stern show and see what you're talking about, but I think it is pretty much the guided meditation.
Yeah, I think it's the transcendental meditation.
Okay,
if I'm pronouncing it correctly. Which now I have no faith in my pronunciations today after saying your book wrong. But
oh no, yeah, don't worry, everybody does that.
So I know that was a popular one for a long time. But it makes sense, and I know that I've heard that before. That it's more than just exercise. Something I'm actually curious in that we've talked to someone on the show before about. There's an app called MyFitnessPal. quite popular. It's all about calories. Someone who's focusing pretty much only on that right now, that, they're trying to lose weight, whether it's successful or not, or let's say it is successful, is that more damaging, that their only concentration is the calorie intake, calorie out? And are they hurting themselves by not working on other things, like you said, the meditation or other forms of exercise to kind of put ease on your mind?
Yes, 100%. If you're counting calories, weighing yourself all the time, skipping meals, starving yourself, all of that does not work whatsoever. And with that, setting goals and New Year's resolutions and having to be at a specific weight at a specific time, none of that works. And it's funny because in the fitness industry, that's all that people want is a quick fix. Tell me how to do it. Let me do it. And it doesn't work that way. It's the most powerful thing I can say to people. It's a way of life. It's not a diet. It's not a goal. It's not something you have to do right away. It's something that you need to be kind and loving to yourself. You need to not worry about how much you're weighing week after week, month after month. Of course, yes, you need to restrict your calories. Of course, you need to eat healthier. But if you're just so focused on and fixated on the calories or the amount of exercise, that's another big thing. People are working out way too much, and then they'll go and eat whatever they want and think they're going to lose weight that way or change their body. What it is, it's just a way of life to eat healthier, not be so crazy about the calories. Eat like me. I'm extremely fit, although I've been in it my whole life. I haven't weighed myself probably in 6 months because I know what I need to eat and I know what to do, and I balance everything. I'm not neurotic about how many hours I have to work out, every single ounce of food that I put in my mouth. So definitely people that are doing that want quick fixes, and they might get there, but then they're going to reverse exactly back to where they were when they first started. So it's definitely a way of life, of changing not just your eating, but your mindset, the way that you live, the way that you think, the way that you conduct your life. It's a definite complete puzzle that you have to solve, not just one portion.
Oh, I agree completely. I noticed that after I had my second child, I was kind of gaining more weight than I wanted to. I tried little things here and there, but nothing ever worked. I went to a gym, and that stopped quickly. So what I found, and it's so true what you're saying, I lost, in December of last year, I was literally a pound away from hitting 200. And to me, that was way overweight for my height. I was like, this is not good. I couldn't run up a flight of stairs without huffing and puffing. I said, everything has to change. It's not one thing. It's not cutting one thing. And I literally portion control, trying not to stop eating, but to control how much I put in me. Cut out all the garbage like soda and things of that nature, water and healthier drinks. And 7 months later, 30 pounds less. And like you said, it took time. And to continue to keep that weight off, to stay in good health, you have to keep doing that. It's not you hit the goal and then you start eating again, because I'll go right back up. And but it was so much more, because even though I was losing weight, I wasn't feeling like, oh, I'm so happy. It was about just changing lifestyle, better sleep, time to myself to think about things or to enjoy things. So it's so true what you say, and I'm definitely looking at this guided meditation when we get off the phone, because I think that would help as well with stress. And, I think everyone deals with stress. Stress probably is one of the reasons that people gain weight. They go to food to help make themselves feel better because it's a quick fix, because like you said, everyone likes quick fixes. So I like the idea of guided meditation. I never thought about that. Exercise, yes, and cardio, and changing my lifestyle, definitely, but never thought about the meditation thing until we spoke now. So I'm glad that you mentioned that. I hope listeners are catching on to that too.
Yeah, it's so important to meditate. And listening to you talk about your transformation, it seemed like you were more relaxed and you weren't so stressed out about every single thing. You were making it a lifestyle change, and you took 7-8 months time to do it, which is great. So I think that's another big factor with people is that they put so much constraints and restrictions and goal setting, and they pressure themselves so much. And the reason why I keep going back to meditation allows you to relax your mind, shut off your phone, shut off your computer, shut off your radio, stop talking to everyone around you, and just reach within and figure out what it is that is going on in your life to cause you the stress or to bring excess stress to you. And then once you do get more in tune with your body, you become kinder to yourself. And that's another thing I'm constantly telling my clients and my friends as well, and including myself. When you're kinder to yourself and you love yourself more, you're going to be more accepting of yourself right now exactly how you are, not how you're going to be when you lose 10 pounds, 20 pounds, 30 pounds, how you're going to be when you start the new job or fall in love with a new person. You're accepting yourself today in this exact moment that you're in. When you meditate and you heal and you find that peace, and if you accept yourself today for exactly how you are and you're not fixated on what you want to be, you will become the person you're looking to become in a much more peaceful, slow, and accepting manner. Does that make sense?
It does, and actually that's funny you say that. I know when I was starting to feel like I was overweight, I used to think about how great it would be to, not be overweight, to be able to fit in clothes again and look well in it. And I used to kind of think about that while I'm driving. And it's amazing how now those thoughts are gone. Now when I'm driving, I'm just enjoying the drive because I'm not fixating on boy, it would be great if I could throw a medium shirt back on or, not have a little gut hanging out from, And so that definitely makes sense. It's something that I was looking over those questions that they give you the suggested questions for you, and of course, I go off the script, but something that I am interested that caught my attention was about is meditation being boring, because I know for me, any time that there's quiet, when I could fill it with something, I do. If I have to wash dishes, I have headphones in, I'm listening to a radio show or a podcast, whatever. If I'm in the car, I have something on. I don't just have the radio off, which I started doing recently because to me, I think the sound of listening to the car running and everything is actually relaxing. But how do you kind of click that off and make it so it's not, quote unquote, boring in your mind, that you don't need something playing in the background to occupy you?
Well, you're talking to the right person, because I'm a strictly A-type personality. And before I got into this whole mind, body, spirit side, I was teaching spinning, boot camps, the highest intensity classes I could find. And someone would try to get me in a yoga class, and I would laugh and say I would never do that, because I could never silence my mind and be more peaceful and slow myself down. So for me, getting back to the guided meditation, why it works so much, it took me a good 30 to 60 to 90 days. They say it'll take 30 to 90 days to make any change in your life stick. So with the guided meditation, what I recommend people to do is 5 to 10 minutes every single day. And it is a commitment, a daily commitment, that everyone could commit 5 to 10 minutes a day. Mm-hmm. And it will be hard at first, and it will be like what you said. You wanted to always hear something, turn something on, just like with me. But then all of a sudden, over 30 days or longer, something just clicks, and you think, wow, this feels so good. How come I never did this before? It's so nice to just relax and be at peace and breathe. And maybe people could go outside and do it if they need to hear sounds in nature. That helps. I live in South Florida, so I'm always by the ocean with hearing the waves and the birds and the trees, so that's nice. But I think after time, whether the people like the silence or not, it clicks and resonates inside of them, and they feel that peace, and it will help. So just doing it 5 to 10 minutes a day, and now I could do it 60 minutes a day alone under a tree, and I'm just in a deep state of meditation because I'm so used to it, and it feels so good. I think that's what it is. When the people feel that goodness that they will feel with the peace, they'll stick with it.
That makes sense. And it sounds like a good idea, and that's a great time frame, 5 to 10 minutes. That's reasonable to be able to turn everything off, kind of get away from everything. 10 minutes, that's not a long time. For some it is. but it really isn't. And that's a great idea. I always thought, how the heck am I going to sit there for 30 minutes, an hour, and in pure silence, or have my phone off, or that's my vice now is the phone. I love checking it to see what's happening, whether it's stocks or scores in a game or Twitter or whatever it is. How many people listened to the last show I did. You're always checking your numbers. You're always checking statuses and what's going on. And to me, I came to a realization, and I'm sure that you probably would be a huge supporter of this, is that when you do that, you're not actually living. You're kind of always being away from what's actually happening in front of you.
Mm-hmm.
So
exactly.
What would be your best suggestion for people who are really? I mean, I do it sometimes, but I can imagine some people are probably 24/7 like that. How do you kind of start getting away from that without completely going crazy?
You definitely have to shut off your phone at least an hour a day. It's funny, I was teaching am I allowed to say a bad word on here?
No, go right ahead.
I was teaching my class the other day at my gym. It's called Ass and Abs, ASS and Abs, ABS.
Nice.
And of course I have the most women, 45 women in that class, because everyone wants a great ass and great stomach. So during the class, I have the music blasting. It's high intensity, and a girl is on her cell phone during the whole entire class. And I wasn't even worried about people thinking she's rude or being disruptive, because I don't even know how she could hear. The music was so loud. But I shut off the music, and I literally made everybody sit down, 45 women. And I said, okay, I'm going to stand up here and lecture for a minute and let you all know, if you cannot find 1 hour in your day to love yourself and, again, be kind to yourself and shut off your phone, unless you're a doctor and you're on call and it's an emergency, whatever. Yes, we all have kids and we all worry about things, but even 30 minutes. If you can't shut it off, then there is going to be something definitely wrong in your life. You're either going to go searching for drugs, alcohol, prescription drugs. I mean, your mind's going to go crazy. So I gave these girls a speech saying that I don't care how hard it is, you need to shut it off, because we can't live our life like that. It's killing ourselves, and then if we do that, of course, our children are going to follow. So what I just tell people is just shut it off, like alcoholics. They have to just stop, but go out for a walk outside, and no matter how much you want to check it, you can't, because you're only slowly killing yourself and hurting yourself. I wish I had a magic remedy to answer that question for you, because I know it's so difficult for so many people, but it's just like the Nike saying, just do it. You have to for your life.
No, and that makes sense. It definitely does. And like I said, I mean, I was like that a little bit, and I had to stop, like, and it starts with the car. I mean, that's a great place to kind of turn the phone off and get used to doing that, because you go start looking at your phone, you're only going to kill yourself or someone else. So if there's ever a place to start, do it in the car, and then let it expand from there, maybe at dinner time. And, that's always what I was saying, because I know I don't want my kids to be like that. And they're very little right now, but they're still, if they grow up with daddy always looking at his phone, they're going to do it, because it's just how you do things.
Right.
So I agree with you. When you mention kids, too, that's a big one, because they're watching. You don't think they are, but they are.
And, but I know we're going way off subject, but I feel this is so important. My kids are 8 and 9, and I noticed when I was running my gym and starting my book and so busy, and Facebook, social media, everything we need to do, that sometimes when I would be with my kids at the park, I would be looking at my phone, and my daughter, who's a very old soul, she's 9 going on 30, she sat me down and looked me right in the eye, and this hit my heart, and I'm sure many parents listening can relate. She said, "Mommy, please, can you shut off your phone and pay attention to me?" And I thought, oh, my God, how terrible. Even though I know I'm working to try to provide for my family and this is my career, but at the same time, my God, the parents out there who are just constantly on their phone, even reading Facebook and talking to their girlfriends and their guys, it's so unfair to our poor children that want and need and crave that love and attention for us. So definitely shut it off in the car, especially if your kids are with you. I agree with you.
Oh, absolutely. And, it's funny you say that because I was at soccer with my daughter, and she's only 3.5, but she's playing, and she's messing around with one of the kids, and she accidentally poked the little boy in the eye, and it was no big deal. He didn't even cry, and I look over at the boy's parent because I'm thinking, I'm going to have to go apologize. He was stone cold solid on that phone. He didn't see anything. I'm like, all right, cool. But it was amazing to me that he, this kid could have been like, his eye could have been poked out of his head. His father would have had no clue because he wasn't paying an ounce of attention. And then after that, I was fixated on this guy because I kept looking over, and he, not one time, looked up. The entire 45 minutes. It's crazy. I mean, we all look at the phone. I take a glance because I'm on call. My job, the nature of my job, I have to look every once in a while, but it's like 2 seconds and boom, I'm back and watching her, making sure she doesn't run away, So it's crazy. But I think all of this wraps into, I don't think it's all subject. I think it all wraps into mental health. I think if you're happy with things and you're calm and peaceful and you feel good, you can look forward, watch your kids, enjoy those little things because you don't need something to preoccupy yourself,
That's so true, and it all ties back into people are asking right now, how do I do that? How do I find that inner peace? How do I become happier? And that's exactly what my book is about. Meditate. That's the number one way. Meditate, and also, like I said, I give homework in the book and tell people when you wake up in the morning, instead of putting on the news and hearing about how many killings, shootings, violent wars, don't put on the news. Read something positive. And like on my Facebook, I have all fitness people, spiritual people. So when I go through my news feed, it's all beautiful, spiritual, uplifting, positive affirmations. That's what I do the minute I open my eyes. Read that for 5 minutes. Then I'll wake up my kids, give them hugs, take them to school, go throughout my day, and I'll make sure I do one act of kindness every day. Smile at someone. Tell them they're beautiful. Tell them you like their hair, even if you don't, just to make a person feel good. And it'll make you feel better. And then meditate 5 to 10 minutes a day. Exercise. Feed your body with good nutrition. Okay, yes, we're going to stumble and fall. I love wine, and I'll have my glass of wine or 2 or 3 on the weekends. But
and that's
also,
okay.
Yeah, and that's fine, but also I'm feeding my body with good, nutritious foods. I care about the environment. So there's so many things that people could do right now today to find peace and happiness, and it all starts with doing that 5 to 10 minute meditation and getting to know themselves better.
That makes sense. That's so true, and I agree with everything there. I can't believe we're almost out of time already. I want to thank you so much. I really enjoyed speaking with you today. I want to thank you so much for coming on. Real quick, tell us where we can find this book.
Okay, it's Lisa Dwoskin, which is DWOSKIN.com. Or you can find me on Facebook, which is Body by Lisa, or BBLFitness.com. So my book is on both, 2 different places.
Excellent. And we have your website linked on our page as well, liveontheairradio.com, so our listeners who already know that website can just go there, click the link, and jump right onto your page and get this book, because I think it's everyone should definitely be in this state of mind, and I think everyone would be a lot happier.
I think so, and I think you're on the right path for sure. It was great talking to you.
Absolutely. It was great talking to you as well, and I appreciate you being on the air today, and I hope the best of luck with you and your book and success.
Thank you. Thank you. Have a great day.
Same to you, and thanks so much for joining us today. Have a good one, Lisa. Take care.
Bye-bye. Bye.
Bye-bye. And, of course, that was Lisa Dwoskin. I want to thank her again for coming on the air. LisaDwoskin.com is the website. Amazon.com, the book is available there as well. Metamorphosize is the book. Check it out, read it, and do it. 5 to 10 minutes a day, guided meditation. I'm going to start doing it today, so I think everyone else here should. We got to wrap it up. Go to liveontheairradio.com or go to AlanMikeShow.com for more details, and follow us on Twitter at AlanMikeShow. For any details on new shows coming up, we'll have more shows on the way in the next few weeks, more guests. And, hey, everyone, have a great day. Again, huge thanks to Lisa for joining us. Great conversation, great topic, and thank you for listening to the show. We'll see you all next time on Live on the Air. Take care, everybody.